And when it tastes good, all you've got to do is mental gymnastics and go, oh, I'm actually eating a cheesecake right now, even though jelly doesn't taste anything like cheesecake. And it absolutely does help. Simon the Bald A-hole here, along with Joe the fitness mascot, the only penguin you need in your life, and I totally get it. Really, if we break everything right down, there's only two things we're trying to achieve in the gym. We're either trying to put on muscle, or we're either trying to lose fat. Yes, you can do both at the same time. We've done videos on those before. Check the channel out now. But I kind of think that when it comes to building muscle, and we will do one on this soon, some people find that easier than trying to lose fat, I suppose, because it is easier. You know, eat a lot of food and lift a lot of weights, you could break it down to, even though it's far more intricate than that. When it comes to losing fat and losing weight and getting ripped, you already know that you've got a huge mountain to climb because hunger and cravings and all these things are going to come into play. But there are things you can do in order to try and circumvent that, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And in fact, we're going to try and hack our way through it, because this is indeed 10 diet and weight loss hacks you need to know, and probably do. Number 10 is to be smart with what you're drinking. Now, personally, I never think you should drink your calories, ever. It's way too easy. You could have a milkshake that has 2,000 calories in it, and you could down that in about a minute should you want to. But if you had 2,000 calories on a plate, you're going to eat it, and maybe you wouldn't even finish it because you would get filled up. So the first thing you want to do is you want to scrap fizzy drinks. Just scrap them all together in terms of the full sugar ones, and start drinking diet drinks, or diet pop for my American friends. I know that sounds obvious and people roll their eyes, but I still see people not doing this. They don't actually. I think what most people think is, or some people think, is because they're drinking something, it can't possibly have any calories in it, and that's not true. Coke has loads of calories in it. Beer has loads of calories in it. Wine, alcohol in general, has loads of calories in it. So if you are going to sort of worry that you're going to miss the taste, start drinking diet drinks, but also start drinking black coffee, right? Black coffee is most people like the taste of coffee, I think, but also it's proven to speed up your metabolism. So if you do just want something in your hand, to put into your mouth and into your gullet just because it's something to do, you can have a diet drink, you can drink black coffee, and all of these things are going to help you. And some people look at a diet drink, they go, oh my gosh, it's got 10 calories in it. Believe you me, the act of drinking it and the process of it going through your body, you're going to burn it off probably before you've even finished a stupid can. And number 9 is that when you are really hungry and you are desperate to eat foods, just fill yourself up. That's all you've got to do. Once you have filled yourself up and your stomach doesn't want any more foods, it is so much easier not to crave anything else. And a great way to do that is by eating salad. And I know salad is not exciting. Salad isn't going to make you want to do backflips to the moon, but it can work mostly because salad is full of fiber, and the more fiber you eat, the more full you're going to be. So even if you do just go get a bunch of spinach, a bunch of lettuce, a bunch of pickles, a bunch of whatever, and put it in a bowl and just munch away on it, it is going to fill you up. And as soon as you will be filled up, you won't want to eat any more food. I know it's not as nice as eating a pizza, but you've got to understand what your goals are right now. Your goals are simply to get yourself into a mental state where you can get through the day without wanting to eat a bunch of cheese. And trust me, people don't eat enough salad as it is, 5 a day and all of that, but also it's incredibly low in calories, but it will sit in your stomach, and again, it will fill you up, so make sure you're taking advantage of it. Number 8 is another good food tip, because you want to make sure that you're abusing sugar-free jelly. Now, don't eat 100 of them, but there are these sugar-free jellies that you can buy that essentially have like 4 to 5 calories in it, and they taste really good. So if you want to get a bunch of them and kind of, turn them into a dessert, you can, especially because you have things like calorie-free syrups. The one I use is Walden Farms. These things never used to exist, but now you can get a bunch of, again, low-calorie jelly. You can get your favorite syrup of choice, be it, butterscotch or blueberry or chocolate, and you can mix it together, even get a blender and go, and put some protein in there, and you get a pretty decent dessert. It tastes good, and when it tastes good, all you've got to do is mental gymnastics and go, oh, I'm actually eating a cheesecake right now, even though jelly doesn't taste anything like cheesecake, and it absolutely does help. But don't ignore these things, right? They will help you out, and they're not going to do any huge damage to you. I mean, you may get a few side effects, like when I have too much calorie-free jelly, I break up on spots for some reason. It's probably the stevia, whatever the hell that's in there. But these are things that you can manage. Maybe you need to take in a little bit less, but don't not have them on your plan, is what I'm saying. Put them on your plan so that when you get to where you want to go, will you actually get there? Because you're not going to get there if instead you're having proper desserts. Number 7 is a little bit different, but some people just can't handle eating carbohydrates when they're trying to diet, right? It's as if, you have one bit of bread and you have to eat 42 pieces of bread, and I totally understand that. You want to be able to keep your blood sugar levels as balanced as possible so you're not peaking and troughing. So you could look into doing a keto diet. Now, I think you should go out and read about it properly. I will give you the headlines here. But a keto diet is essentially a high-fat, high-protein, low-carbohydrate diet where you get all of your energy. You go into a state of ketosis and you get your energies from fats as opposed to carbohydrates. And it is going to help cravings, and it is absolutely the kind of thing you should look into if, again, like I say, you just can't not eat carbs. I totally understand it. Carbs are delicious. Carbs taste great. I wouldn't implore that for everybody. And I would also say, again, go and educate yourself. Go and read up about it. But if you're truly struggling to lose weight and you don't know what else to do, ketosis is actually pretty decent. But do not forget as well, if you eat too much protein, you're not going to be able to get into the state of ketosis either. Everything needs to be balanced out. Once more, trial and error, boring, I know. But it can work if you're sort of struggling and you don't know where else to turn. You could try keto. Number 6 is the classic where you want to eat low-calorie dense foods that are also satiating. What that means is, once again, like salad, these things are going to fill you up, and they're not going to make you eat a crazy amount of calories. Now, what I'm talking about here, as opposed to what we talked about earlier, there is basically about the same amount of calories in 30 grams of cashew nuts as there is in 100 grams of chicken breast. Now, I know we're talking about healthy fats versus protein here, but when your whole goal is just to lose weight, that's all you want to do, you want to lose weight, it's such a much better idea to have the chicken breast over the cashew nuts, because think how quickly you can eat that amount of cashew nuts, right? You won't even blink. You'll sit down and you'll look in your bowl and the cashew nuts will be gone, and you'll ring the police and you'll report someone, I think someone has stolen my cashew nuts. Now, they'll tell you to leave them alone because that's not much of a crime, but also you ate them. You just didn't even pay attention because there was nothing there to pay attention to. Whereas a whole chicken breast or 100 grams of chicken breast, I know it's not a massive amount of food, but it's going to take you longer to eat and you are going to feel more satiated. So a great thing to do is sit down, look at what you're eating and try and figure out, well, what could I replace this with that is actually going to fill me up for longer and make me feel more fulfilled when I am eating. It's such an interesting or an easy thing that people just don't do because you just don't think about it, because you think, well, I have to eat many fats, I have to eat many Depends what your goals are. If your goal is strictly to lose weight, do this and do it now. Number 5 sounds a little bit ridiculous, but it's true. Use a smaller plate, right? Your brain is a very visual entity. So if you have a massive plate and you have your chicken, broccoli, rice, whatever the hell you're eating at the moment, and it just looks like it's a pitiful portion, not only are you going to feel more hungry before you've even eaten it, but afterwards you're probably thinking, well, that wasn't a lot of food. Whereas if you have a small plate and you load it up with the same amount of stuff, just instantly, you will think, well, this looks like a lot of food. It's just how it works. I know it sounds dumb. And of course, if you're really struggling with your diet, this isn't going to be the thing that makes you go, oh my gosh, I can do it now. But it's when you add all these little things up. Try it today. If you've been having your meals on a plate, start putting it in a bowl, like a really, really small bowl, like a breakfast cereal bowl. And it just feels like more food. I don't know why, but it just does. Number 4 is sugar-free chewing gum. I mean, this one just comes down to taste. If you do get a craving and you can just chew on a bunch of gum that basically has, relatively any calories in it, again, it tricks your brain. It makes your brain go, oh, thank you so much for satisfying that craving. Don't chew a load of it because it can have a laxative effect, which I guess you could argue may help, because if you're crapping all the time, you're probably going to lose more weight. Not the weight you're trying to lose, but the scales will still go down, and sometimes that's all that people want. But it's something that I did, especially when I was training for my bodybuilding contest, when I was just desperate to eat something nice. I mean, you can go back to the jelly stuff that we talked about before, but it's something quick. You can get a piece of sugar-free gum, and you can just chew on it, and it's effortless, and it's easy, and it's something to focus on. Because I know, that's something that I always struggle with when I'm trying to lose weight, is that my brain is constantly just going food. Like, oh my gosh, brain, would you calm down? And when you have a rectangular piece of joy right there, and you can just go and then spit it out, it just takes you through the next 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long you want to chew gum for. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. So again, little things like this, sugar-free gum. Number 3 is peanut butter powder. You must have heard of PB Fit by now. Everybody is talking about it constantly, and you should do it because it just is so much better for you. I think it's 80% less calories than actual peanut butter, and I know you're losing your healthy fats, but again, if you're trying to lose weight and you still want to eat peanut butter, you should be having PB Fit. It's also higher in protein, and again, it's less calories. We don't even need to go on about this one. You can put it in your oats, you can put it in your protein shakes, you can put it in, you can mix it up with water and you can put it on your bread. So you can have peanut butter toast if you've been eating all that day. And I tell you, personally, I can't tell a major difference once you get used to it. Like if you had peanut butter on Monday and you had PB Fit on a Tuesday, you probably will notice the changes. But after 3, 4, 5 days, you'll honestly think you're just eating peanut butter, even though you're not. Number 2 of the classics as well. Again, I think I just dropped one in there. Make sure you're having protein ice cream. It's just protein. Almond milk, which is incredibly low in calories. It's only 13 calories per 100 milliliters. Throw some fruit in there if you allowed it. I mean, even you could have like 50 grams of fruit. I'm sure you get away from it. You can put guar gum in there for thickness. Just blend it up in a blender. It tastes like you're eating a delicious ice cream dessert. And you're not. And also make sure you're looking at stuff like popcorn. Again, you have to figure out what calories you're going to be able to take into your daily allowance. But you can eat quite a lot of popcorn. Like you can have a massive bowl of popcorn and you figure out the calories. Apparently calories live over there. And it's only like 200 calories. And 200 calories is not enough. And popcorn is amazing because you can season it, put salt on it, and put all this stuff. And it just tastes great. So do not ignore simple things like that. And don't feel like you have to punish yourself. I know I just mentioned rice. But don't feel like you have to punish yourself with not even that much rice. Because again, rice is a really high calorie dense food when you can go for popcorn and have more, but actually be eating less calories. And number 1 is always the most important one that I tell everybody, even though it's obvious. Plan your cheat days. Now, maybe you're somebody that can't have a cheat day because you fall off the wagon. Just make sure that you accept this and shift around accordingly. But if on Monday you feel like you're going to eat the world, but on Saturday night you are allowed to eat the world, there is a far bigger chance you're going to get through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, knowing that all your bad food comes on Saturday. Maybe you plan it in for your birthday or a special occasion. It does work. It really, really does. You still have to be dedicated. It's still going to be hard. It's not like this magical bean that just makes you feel better. But otherwise, you're just going to feel like you're punishing yourself. Now, you shouldn't. The ideal thing you should be doing here is not looking at foods in good and bad. And it's just about making sure you find a diet that's sustainable and long term. But I get that a lot of people can't do that. And as soon as they go on a diet, it's like, oh my gosh, I just want to eat everything. So plan to eat everything, but just plan to eat it for like an hour on a Saturday. But also try not to overindulge because that's not good for you either. So there you go, 10 weight loss diet hacks, whatever you want to call it, that hopefully helps you out. And if not, well, I appreciate you being here, so you help me out. Now, if you like the video, share the video, subscribe, hit the bell ding ding so you know when another video is going live. There's also another video there right now. If you could click it, I'd appreciate it. I promise it will be fun. Twitter and Instagram, I'm at SimonMiller316, simon.bigcartel.com for merchandise, patreon.com/Simon316 if you want to help out the channel financially. That would rock. Otherwise, keep smashing it in the gym, keep smashing it with your diet, and I'll see you soon.